Okay, so please help me. If I forget to turn on the recording, please let me know. Okay, because after I would like to put the video onto the website, so that you can access it anytime. Okay, again, this course is called Generative Modeling and Heuristic Design Method, or official term is called Parametric Modeling and Heuristic Design Method. Okay, these are two related topics we want to discuss and learn together in this semester. Okay, and I hope that with this course, we can together we build up a learning environment, a good learning environment. So all of you, including me, we can get better and better into the insight of this topic. And maybe each of you may have different focuses because you may from different lab with different goals for your, maybe your master or doctor researches, or even you may from some other department. Okay, so each of us may have different goals, but we are all interested in this issue, especially heuristic design method. So that's the reason why we joined this course, and we want to build up a good learning environment, including the hardware set up in this classroom, and also the software, which means the organization of this class, and also the way we communicate. Okay, so I hope that the communication is bi-directional. Not only I am the person who is talking, I want you to speak up, okay, to have not only to me, but also to each other. So teamwork will be very important, okay? After you all settle down about the course registration, which means I think in 2 weeks time, right? Okay, so you have decided to join this class, then we'll make teams. Okay, and I will try to divide you into teams consists of people from different background, including the learning background, the sex, female and male, and people from different countries, from different culture. Okay, so that you can best learning from each other. Okay. So this is the kind of attitude I would expect from you. So together, we want to build up a good learning environment for all of us, including me. Okay, so I explained the topic. First, heuristic design. Sometimes, or maybe from other people, you will often heard from them, they may call it design optimization. Okay, and this topic has been a focus of research since at least, I would say it is even earlier than the 70s of the last century. Okay, it can be like starting from the 60s or even 50s. Okay, and especially for design issues. But architecture design is kind of a very specific profession. I would say that application of digital technology falls behind the application of digital technology in architecture industry or in construction industry, far behind other disciplines. I would say at least 30 years. Okay, there are reasons, okay, which we will discuss later, why this profession is kind of more difficult for us to use the most advanced digital technology into our practice. There are some reasons, and we need to be aware of these reasons so that we will know how to integrate this digital technology into our practice. Okay, anyway, this is an interesting topic we want to talk about. Okay, due to the complexity of design problems, the pursuit of heuristic design method would probably go on endless. Yes, okay, I would think so. The advances of generative modeling tools, okay, so such as rhinoceros grasshopper, will be very heavily used. And I would expect that some of you are already very good in Grasshopper programming. And of course, some of you may have little or no experiences in Grasshopper. Okay? But that's okay. Don't worry. Because in this class, I want to help you to get what you need. Okay? It doesn't matter if you are good in Grasshopper programming or some other programming languages, or you have no experiences. But the most important thing is the motivation. You have to make sure that you would like to learn it. Otherwise, you shouldn't take this course. Okay? Okay. The reason I will explain later. Okay. Because I think this is a different paradigm for design. And this is a very important tool for us to get into it. Grasshopper is a good programming tool for architects. Okay. Not only Grasshopper, but also other tools. But I think in this class, we are going to use Grasshopper. And the design evaluation tools. Okay. The objective of this course is to introduce the enabling techniques. Okay, so we have to learn some skills, some techniques, including the visual programming. Okay, Grasshopper is kind of visual programming language and the environment for you to write programs. Theoretically, it is not different from other programming languages, such as C#, such as Python or C++. But the way we do programming is different from other kind of conventional programming language based on text. Okay. Grasshopper is based on kind of visual construction. Okay. And it has a very good connection to the modeling tool that we are used to do in our design. Okay, and some other things, concept and theory that we have to learn about design heuristic method. They are kind of algorithms. Okay, we have to learn how the computer can operate so that can reach the goal that we set up for our problem. And we need to get concept. We need to get to know about this algorithm. And one of them we will use heavily. It's called genetic algorithm. And also some other optimization method. And if you are interested in that, you can check. There are courses in operations research. I would say in the management school, and maybe in the engineering school, they have courses about operations research, and they will be very heavy discussion and exercises in optimization, in all kinds of algorithms and tools for optimization. So if you want to get really deep into this issue, these are the courses that you have to consider. Okay. It is expected that generative modeling and design heuristic method can be useful for research. Okay, so I think, I think all of you are from graduate school, So you have to write your thesis, you have to do your research in different discipline. Okay, but I would say digital tool and the heuristic method can be useful for different fields. So I will encourage you to think of using this technique, what you learn and exercise in this class for your research. Okay. Various fields such as architecture design in general, and more specifically, structural design and energy efficient design. And somehow this semester, I would like to try to take more focus on structure design. Okay, the topic, I divide our topic into 3 parts. First, it's about concept and skill for generative or parametric modeling. For example, we have to do programming so that we will enable generative modeling so that our heuristic design method can take on using this method. This is this generative modeling. And also, we need to learn some plugin tools for doing simulation, analysis, and form generation. Okay. The second part is the basics of architecture geometry. The first part is about skills for digital applications or programming. But the second part is more on the conceptual, not conceptual. It's about knowledge about geometry, which is very important. For example, if we design a curved building scheme, and how can you dissect it so that we can build the building scheme with some construction method that we can handle. Okay. For example, you have to dissect the curved surface into units, and then you assemble them together to make this whole surface. But how can you dissect this large surface, which you cannot build all at once? So you have to dissect into smaller units so you can build it fabricate it in the factory, and then bring the job site and then assemble them. So you need to know the geometry. Okay. And recently, I would say in this 10 or 20 years, a field become more and more important for us. Some people call it architectural geometry, which means some geometric background knowledge, which is very, very useful and important for architecture design. Okay? And in these 2 decades, the advances of architecture geometry is remarkable. Okay, and we can learn a lot from these researches. So I will share with you some papers that I have found in the academic world, and I would urge you to read this paper and try to learn from them. This will not be easy. I would say very difficult, even for me, because the mathematics behind this, some of you or even me, we don't have actually enough mathematical background. But I think we should try, okay, to get into it. That will be including digital representation of geometric entities. This is very basic, and these are from computer graphics, knowledge of computer graphics, including vector, curved surface mesh, and geometric transformation and operation, and geometric analysis related mathematical constructions. Okay, and the third part will be regarding heuristic design method. For example, how can we design by analyzing and simulating some physical system so that to derive a good shape. Okay? Actually, architect or designer have been doing this before the computer has been invented. Okay, one example is this chain model. You know, Gaudi, Sagrada Familia, he designed Sagrada Familia in Barcelona more than 100 years ago. He did not have a computer. He cannot use computer to do structure analysis. Okay? But the structure of that building, I think it is very, very complicated. Even you use the most advanced computer and program to do the structure analysis is very difficult. But he used this simulation, simulating a chain falling down naturally under gravity. So he derived the shape, and he flipped the shape upside down or downside up to design arc and domes. Okay? And actually, this is the very powerful analog computer using chains. Or if you want to find the minimal possible area or kind of surface which will connect the boundary, the shape boundary you want, then you use this soft film. Okay, you use a wire to make it into the form that you want, and then you dip this wire into salt water, and then you get kind of curved surface. And mathematically, this is the minima area, the kind of shape which has minima area possible in all kinds of geometry. Okay? So if you use this shape to design your building, then you will use least possible material to construct. And also maybe the heat loss or heat gain of the building through this surface will be minimized. Okay? So something like that. But we are lucky. We don't need to be like Gaudi. We have to use physical model. We can use digital model or virtual model to do the simulation. Okay, so not only we need to do, we can use analysis to find heuristic design, but also we can simulate physical system so to derive shapes or forms that has the quality that we want. Okay, or some computational method such as genetic algorithm designed by optimization and heuristic search. Okay, you don't have to worry about grading. Okay, the most important thing in this class is to learn things that you want. Okay, it's not the purpose. I mean, to give you grade is not the purpose at all. Okay, but somehow we need to do evaluation first, of course, for administrative purposes. But I think the purpose of grading actually is for communication. First, I want to know how well you learn. Okay? If you all get very bad grade, which means I'm not doing the good job, right? Because you don't learn anything. Okay? So evaluation is a means for me to know how you are doing in learning, and also for yourself to know how well you are doing in this environment, so that we can have feedback and we know how to improve it. Okay, but anyway, you don't have to worry about the grading. Okay, I think the attitude and the motivation is most important. Okay, but anyway, I would emphasize group activity. So I will divide you into groups, and the grading will be very much depend on the entire group. Okay. The topic, I have somehow specified the topic for every week, but I have to say that it is not going to be fixed like this. Okay, I may change it. Okay, when I think it's better to adjust it. Okay, so this week, course introduction, and let me ask, how many of you have no experience in Rhino? Never been using Rhino? Yeah, raise your hand. Okay, yeah, don't worry, you'll find help from other students. Okay, I'm not good in Rhino, either. Okay, because I don't spend many time in doing modeling myself. Okay, so for me, using Rhino to do model, I also know very limited. Okay, and how about Grasshopper? You have no experience Grasshopper? Raise your hand. Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great, because most of you knows Grasshopper, and that's great, good for you too, because you have many people to learn from. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, but I want you to make sure that you are interested in it and you want to learn it. Okay. Yeah, for this topic, maybe I won't introduce it, but you just take a look. And here, of course, the first column is the date, the second column is the topic, and the third column will be the activity that we are going to do for every week. And maybe something I want you to notice is after you have make decision on whether to take this course or not, we want to make teams on 4th of March. Okay, and I will announce our project issue on 4th of March, which will be regarding the design and optimization or heuristic design of some construction system for building envelope. Okay, I want every team will focus on this issue and using some digital tools to design a system which can make up a part of a building envelope. Can be the roof, or can be like exterior wall, or the second skin of the exterior wall, whatever, using different kind of material, concrete or steel, glasses, or maybe one of the material we are very interested in is called UHPC, ultra high performance concrete. Okay. Okay, so 4th of March, we'll be sure about the team, and I will announce the project. And 11th of March, I will invite a professional architect. His name, Chen Qingnan, so I only use this CNN, Chen Qingnan, okay? So he will come to share with us his experience in using digital technology for his practice. Okay, but the way or the tool that he's using might be different from what we're doing in this class, because he is an architect, professional architect, and I think I would say the level or the focus of his work and us are kind of different. Okay, he has to be very, very practical. And we can be more theoretical. Okay, but I want you to at least get some idea about in the practice. He's facing the same problem, but maybe his value system or how he makes decisions were different from us, because we only need to be successful theoretically. Maybe for you to write your thesis or write your paper and you can submit it to a journal. But for him, he has to build it. Okay, so that can be very different. Okay, but we want to find something in common. And then we have some exercise using Kiwi 3D, which is a structure analysis program plugin. We can plug Kiwi 3D into Grasshopper so that we can do structure analysis. And we want to use this together with a concept called dimensionless grid to do heuristic search. Okay, we spend a few weeks in this kind of structure analysis and doing some heuristic search. And then after you get to know some of this concept, I want you, every team will make a project proposal. I will divide you depending on how many people take this class. Maybe like 4 be a team. And then each team, after you discuss with each other, you make a decision and then to present your project proposal. But what kind of construction or kind of, and using this construction, you have some certain objective which you want to use for your heuristic search method. For every heuristic search, we need to base on some objective or objectives. Okay. And then we go on some topic regarding the geometry, regarding geometric knowledge that we need to know about curved surfaces, dissections, tessellations. Okay, and I want you to read papers and share with each other. Okay, and most of them are regarding digital design and digital construction. And I will also encourage you to find papers yourself, okay, especially when you have decided your project proposal or you have something in your mind that you want to do in your research. Okay, then I will encourage you to find the kind of paper that you want to read, and then you can share with everyone in this class. So, and in the second part of the semester, we will have like a project progress discussion and the paper reading and discussion. And I think 3rd of June is a holiday. It's like a Dragon Ball holiday, right? Okay, so we have no class on 3rd of June. And then we have project representation on 10th of June. Okay, and then after we have a presentation and discussion, then I want you to submit a portfolio. Portfolio means a record on what you have learned. Okay, and yeah, it can be a paper if you like, or a record which shows what you have learned, what you have achieved in this class. And the evaluation or your grading will be very much depending on the project presentation and portfolio. Okay, and of course also the course interaction every week. Okay, and this class will be always turned on remote video conferencing. Okay, so if in case you cannot come to the class, you still can access through video conferencing. but I would encourage you to come to the class. Okay. Okay. Right. Because not only to interact with me, you also need to interact with your teammates. Okay, and reference, the first reference is a book about architecture geometry, which is authored by Professor Partman, Helmut Partman, and his group. I would say he might be the most important, the person who has very much contribution to the field of architecture geometry. And this book is very good because it starts from fundamental knowledge, okay? And you can actually, the book is very thick, but I think you may have different way to find electronic copies. Okay? Of course, the best way is to buy a book. And I'm not sure if we have this book in the library. Jia Yang, you have tried to find it in the library? We have this book in the library. You don't know? Okay. But anyway, okay. Actually, it is possible to find the electronic. Okay. Anyway. And the other resource is every 2 years, there's a conference called Advances in Architecture Geometry. There are other conferences, but this conference happened to the one which I'm most familiar. I've been presenting papers in 2016, 2018, and 2020, I think. Okay. I don't remember twice or three times, twice, I think. Okay. Okay. And you'll also be able to find this paper on the website. Okay, I will stop recording here.